Bitcoin is currently hanging at super important daily support, and in this exact video I will of course talk about the super important support on Bitcoin. I will talk about the Bitcoin CME gap that we're currently creating over the course of the weekends, the bullish divergence, and more importantly, the stock market is right now once again outperforming Bitcoin, and the last time that happened, Bitcoin took a very big jump back towards the upside. So today I will be talking about the probabilities, what could be happening next with Bitcoin considering the stock market is moving up again, and many more important charts we need to discuss right here. So don't forget to slap up that like button on today's update video. Can't wait to smash it back above 400. That will be absolutely incredible. With that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content. So looking at Bitcoin on the imminent short term, and this CME gap has got a close price around 25.7k. So we're expecting that Bitcoin is going to hover around this price over the course of this weekend. And yes, once it is Monday, we're probably going to fill up the CME gap. So what I will be expecting is that either Bitcoin is going to come down at the end of the Sunday, or either beginning of the Monday, we're going to come down to fill up that CME close price. The CME gaps, they tend to get filled up 9 out of the 10 times, and for the last 10 times before, we have basically closed them up within 2 days after the creation of the CME gap. So expect that Bitcoin is as well at the beginning of next week is going to be trading right at 25.7k. Since Bitcoin is still trading on these lows, you can currently still see that the volatility is actually super low. Bitcoin basically goes sideways for a very long period of time in the market, then it had a massive pump towards the upside, once again went sideways, and now once again after we breached towards the downside, we are once again going sideways, and there's almost nothing happening in this chart. Looking at the 4-hourly time frame, you can currently see that we actually confirmed a lower low than the previous low in the market on that 4-hourly candle close here. And actually, I think if you're looking at Bitcoin right now here, that we should definitely be a little bit worried. But one thing that is a positive to take from the market right now here is that on the 4-hourly time frame, the RSI is printing a higher high, what means that we're currently creating a bullish divergence since the price action printed a lower high. And looking at the 12-hour time frame as well, you can see Bitcoin clearly created a lower high on that 12-hourly low in the market. And if you're looking at the RSI, you can clearly see the RSI has printed a higher high, what means that currently the RSI is also creating a bullish divergence. So RSI is creating a higher low, price action of Bitcoin a lower low, as well on the daily time frame. However, I am not thinking that this is one of the most beautiful bullish divergences I've ever seen here. And if Bitcoin really were to be moving down further on the daily time frame, I think we could be seeing a very beautiful bullish divergence getting created, and that could potentially lead towards a market reversal. Still, one thing where I'm worried about is that there's a lot of liquidity in this wick towards the downside, since this lick was purely a liquidation wick here. So I personally won't be surprised to first see Bitcoin come down here to 24.8k and then shoot back towards the upside. So it's still a possibility that I'm currently taking in account here, and it's definitely a possibility that could be happening for Bitcoin. Also, very important to be paying attention towards is that Bitcoin maybe is right now sitting on its most important support here, not seen here in approximately 170 days here. So for the last 8 months here, we've been holding above this support level, and basically if we break below this level, it's definitely going to be a sign of worry. If we break below this level and we confirm also to break below this box right here, we're probably going to go much lower, because these are the most important supports that we should be looking at right now in this current time in the market. So Bitcoin is hanging on super important support, and if you want to be trading Bitcoin, if we're going to be breaking below it, or if you want to be buying or accumulating anything, maybe you want to be trading altcoins, you can check out BYBIT, because if you right now sign up an account on BYBIT, you can right now go to the link in the description of today's video, where you can actually claim a deposit bonus up towards $1,000. And all you need to do here is go to the link in the description of today's video here, deposit $100 within 7 days, and you can claim a free $1,000 long or short position on BYBIT. So make sure to sign up an account as soon as possible. Also, since there are some collateral risks on Binance, and there are some suggestions that Binance is using their customer funds to prompt up the BNB price. So hopefully it's not true, but if it's true, we could be in a bigger trouble. So looking as well at Bitcoin, we can currently see that we're basically holding this bigger range trade here, and Bitcoin is just super boring right now for the current period in the market. Actually, this entire phase right here, super boring. Then we got a little bit of excitement, and now once again, it is super boring. So it's just a matter of time before the narrative is probably going to change again here. But in this phase of the market, Bitcoin is just super boring. In 220 days approximately, we're going to have the next Bitcoin halving, and probably as well we're going to get the Bitcoin spot ETF within 200 days as well. So yeah, things are lining up here for next year especially, but you have to understand that if you want to be buying enough Bitcoin, you have to do it in periods where no one wants to be buying it, and that is of course where we're currently in. If you're looking at the stock market market compared to Bitcoin, it is actually a very interesting take here, because you can see here the blue line, that's the stock market, the orange line is Bitcoin. Here we had the FTX collapse, then we recovered again here, but basically you can see that the stock market had a massive rally towards the upside, had a small little dip here, and now continued further towards the upside. On this small dip, Bitcoin took also a hard dip here, but now it's once again moving up and Bitcoin is moving down here. So Bitcoin is moving invertedly against the stock market. And last time that happened, it was over here. Bitcoin, of course, went down here to a low of an approximately $25,000, and the stock market continued to rally till at one point Bitcoin catched up again back towards the upside. Of course, there was on the BlackRock Bitcoin spot ETF news here for their finding, but it is just an indication that Bitcoin could take territory back very quickly compared to the stock market. And of course, if the stock market does decide to be going higher, since if I'm looking at the stock market right now here, we are currently almost at new all-time highs for this market. So yeah, let's see how it's going to be playing out here. Of course, we do know September is currently the month that we're in, and September has historically been a super bad month for Bitcoin. To be very clear, it has only been 2 times in history positive, and all the other times it was super negative. So hopefully it's going to be different this time around here, but September is definitely a very worrisome month. And we should be definitely paying our attention towards it. But one important thing to take here is that October has historically been super positive for Bitcoin. So let's see how it's going to be playing out here. Let's first survive the month of September, but October is definitely a month I'm super excited about. And if you really start to zoom out on Bitcoin, you can really identify the most important levels of resistance. You can clearly see this is the most important resistance to break here. If we break above this level, I personally think we could start to see Bitcoin go exponential again, since this has been the level that has been providing rejections for us all the time here. Then we've got the most important support line, the legendary support line on the lower side. Clearly a lot of touch points here as well in the FTX collapse low, another touch point. And this basically is indicating that Bitcoin is still in an upward sloping trend here until we break it. And of course, if Bitcoin comes down ever to $22,000 again, we're probably going to retest the legendary support line again, and that would make up a very good buying opportunity. At the same time, in the middle of this range, we're currently still holding above it. We've got this level of $25,000. I'm going to make it a little bit less thick here, but you can currently clearly see here what are the most important levels for Bitcoin. And basically, I personally think we do not have a lot of room towards the downside, and we have got a lot of room towards the upside. And the downside room I am still expecting that could be happening is Bitcoin to come down to $23,000 to $22,000, but not much lower than that here. And if we ever will be retesting this trend line again, I will be most certainly a buyer. And you have to understand, if Bitcoin goes down now, it's actually a gift here, because 2024 is lining up to be so bullish. If you're not accumulating Bitcoin right now, you will be definitely missing out here. And if it does really comes down in Q4 2023, it would be a gift. At least that is how I'm approaching it, because I will be able to be buying more Bitcoin. So that was it for me in today's update video. I truly hope you did enjoy it. If you did like it, don't forget to slap up the like button, and see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.